Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing something a little bit different but very CPA related, and that is I'm going to show you all about Becker. This is kind of just a little tutorial as to whether or not you should get Becker. I'm a big advocate for Becker. That's what I used. I loved it, but I just want to bring you through the costs, the actual functions that are within Becker, and just all of that. So first I want to go through if it's actually in your price range, I guess. So right now we're on the Becker online screen, so I'm going to bring you over to the actual Becker website, and you can easily just type in becker.com. I'll bring you out a little bit. So sorry about the fan glare right there. It's just very hot today. So that fan needs to stay on. So what I did before this video started was I went in and I hit the CPA exam 4-part. Now this is not a bundle. This is just the CPA exam 4-parter. Now if you can see, I don't know if there's a sale right now or if it's the mere fact that we still bought it in the 4 parts all at the same time, but it is $848.25 per each section, and this is the self-study. It comes with a book. We can look at the details below. So let's zoom in on that. You get 24 clock hours, live and online, a bunch of multiple choice, Sims. And the Sims and multiple choice given are different per section, just based on, the, I guess, content of the material, how much material is actually in it, but we'll go through later how they offer 2 real mock exams, 1 comprehensive exam, a ton of other opportunities. So this one, I just want to show you the price of each individual one. Now, if you want to get a bundle, which I recommend, because it's not like you're just going to take 1 exam. Hello, you see me in the reflection. So we're going to go to all courses and bundles, or all courses and products. And we're going to scroll down, and we can see this is what I clicked on before to get all the individual ones, but we'll also see the Becker bundle. So we're going to load that through, and this can just walk you through what's included and all of that. So we're going to go back to CPA Home, because that is not what I wanted to show you. Here we go. Okay, so Becker bundle, you'll get the exam review, which is this is just the basic self-study, and then you'll get the final review. The final review is something I highly recommend. It's a great summary after you're done reviewing all the material for the first time during the 2 weeks prior to your actual exam. So right now, with the bundle, you get this discounted price. Now I will say that usually if you buy through a firm, through an organization, there's also many deals that usually happen at least once per month of like $1,000 off, $500 off, all of these things. But if you get it through your company, it's also usually $1,000 off, and as I'm aware, you cannot like group together coupons, so that's just something to consider. And it also comes with the digital flashcards, it says, so that's something to consider. Now all 4 parts is what I showed you on my original cart, and that comes to $3,393. That is just the 4 parts. So when you compare it to the bundle, it's like less than $100 more. You get the final review and the digital flashcards. The digital flashcards I did not use, and I can't really show you because I didn't get that when I got my bundle, but I've heard it's helpful, and then I've heard it's not helpful. So it's kind of whether or not. I'm a big proponent of write it, you know it, so I like to make my own. Again, this is just the breakdown if you do want to buy 1 at a time, but it is cheaper to do it as all these 4 parts. So there you go, that's that. And then there's also these different sources and whatnot, so you can go and explore on becker.com. Now for the actual program, once you buy it, you're going to make a login and all that. Let me go see if, sorry about that. So you'll get to this home page. You'll notice that when you open it up, you have the home, sections, study plan, skill master, libraries, flashcards, performance dashboard, find questions, and downloads. So what does that mean for you? So we're going to go to home. We can go to the sections portion, and this is the little book on the side right there, and it's going to bring you up FAR, audit, reg, BEC, and this is the bundle, so I bought all of them at the same time, so this is kind of just how it viewed for me. And I'll tell you, let's zoom in on FAR. FAR will kind of be like our practice one, you'll see. So we have 10 units, and the approximate study time is 150 hours. And I still have yet to update mine to the unlimited access, so I no longer have to worry about their 18 months. But I have to just do it, and I haven't. So that it is an option now to get unlimited, so you don't have an 18-month clock, I guess. So before we get into going into FAR, let's just keep going down this side bar here. So if we want to go to when I was actually studying FAR, since that will kind of be our little tutorial, I started January 1st, got right to it. It's nice how you can make this study plan. You can adjust it as need be, but you'll see kind of the sections that you'll be going through each week, the headings and all of that. You can schedule the simulated exams, previously known as the mock exams, and then when your actual exam is going to be. My exam was February 20th. So, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to be moving this camera a lot. We can go to adjust the schedule. Would you like to adjust the existing schedule? Let's just do it for the heck of it. I'll zoom you back out. So you can put in like sections, exam dates, all this stuff. But it's nice. So like say I didn't actually do what I need to do and I need to move it, I can easily move it. So let's say I move it here. Now everything else shifts a week. Let's say I want to move it back. Scroll over, I'm going to put it back here, and it moves like that. So that's doing one section a week. I'm going to move it back. I was doing 2 sections a week, so now we're just going to move. So it's very easy, very friendly, and all of that. Nice, you just changed it. So we're just going to revert the changes. And then in here, so our exam is here. So now we can actually go back to this. And if so that was on this 4-square box. Now if we click this to-do list kind of button, you can actually put in like the dates if you don't want to move it like how I was moving it. So you can either put I don't know, which if you haven't scheduled your exam, you can put as I don't know, or you can say it's scheduled for. So mine was scheduled for 2:20. Now we can go back here and just see there's my exam. So now we'll go to complete. We'll adjust the schedule. We'll go back to our main page. Let's go back to February, January. See, it's all the same there because we didn't really change it. And then our exam is the 20th. So that's kind of the study schedule. It's great to have. Now, Skill Master video libraries. I did not use this. I'm not going to lie. But they have a bunch of great videos in here if you're having a hard time understanding things, that they'll really walk you through it. So you can go by section, you go financial 1, and they'll walk you through the simulations. Very nice. Okay. So that's kind of just what's in there. It's all the simulations with the explanation. And you can watch, they have a Skill Master video orientation. I did not use this, I'm not going to lie to you. Okay, so now we'll go to the flashcards. I did not get them as I said, but this is where they would be. We'll go to performance dashboard. Very cool. So we'll just go, first row right there is FAR. So we'll do lectures 99% complete, skills practice 99% complete, number of questions 1742, 86% correct. Simulations, I barely did any simulations for FAR, so don't even look at that. And then it says percent total done. So what you need to do for the Becker Promise, you must view 100% of the skills practice and correctly complete 90% of all multiple choice questions and simulations. So that would be in this section, 90% here and 90% here. I obviously was not even close to it. So what does it say? It gives me an X to the Becker Promise. Now the Becker Promise is if you do meet the guidelines of having 100% in skills practice, 100% or 90% multiple choice, 90% in simulations, they will consider refunding you in a sense. And it's down here on the bottom where you can go, but they'll basically give you a redo at no extra cost. So now next, zoom out. I click this little eyeglass thing and question number. I don't even know. I never use this, but it's like this. And the last one is the little cloud with the down arrow. That's the download. I downloaded the final review. So that was if you purchased it. You can also get their apps. I did use the apps very rarely, but when I was kind of on the go or like sitting on the couch, I didn't have my computer, I would do it and open up the multiple choice and do some multiple choice sitting on the couch. But anyway, let's get back to FAR. So we'll go here, we'll go continue course. Now in FAR there was 10 sections, F1 to F10, and then this SE, or the simulated exams, previously known as mock exams. They will give you 3 of them. The first one is this one. It's a comprehensive exam, which I still think it's very similar to like the real test. I don't know if the questions are different or what, but they said it's just help you identify your areas of weakness. Then we have 2 actual mock exams. I know some people don't take them all. I really recommend taking them all just to get yourself aware of as many questions as possible and kind of practice that time management of each. So now let's go into the first one. We'll just kind of do one of these sections and then I'll show you the sims. So we have lecture, skills practice, and MCQs. MCQs are multiple choice. So if we start our lecture, we have an intro video where they kind of just talk as an overview. We don't actually want to listen to it. As what this chapter is going to be about. Then we'll have this little sidebar is the lecture. So the lecture is just like the page, how long it's going to take to go through. And then at the bottom you'll see the remaining and you'll see the total. So you'll want to make all of these green check marks. And at the end of each, I think there was maybe like 1 or 2 sections where they didn't actually have a multiple choice question, but they'll give you a multiple choice question and they'll actually walk you through the thought process. And just so you know that if you know the answer right away without them going through their whole thing, you can click it, get the little green arrow on this side right there, and then it'll show up as a green arrow on your sidebar so you don't actually have to listen to the whole thing. Or you can hit answer and it'll give you a written explanation. So that's kind of the lecture. Each of them are different lengths, but it's the same premise where each page is explained. I recommend going through the lectures only because they say things in the lecture that sometimes is not written in the book, so it's nice to make write in the margins rather, make notes in the margins. So now, skills practice, there's a little intro video, there's Pete, and then there's this video explaining either an important topic in the chapter or just a problem that they're going to walk you through. To be honest, I didn't really go through many of these only the ones I really struggled getting in the lectures that I actually watched the videos, because it just was time waste for me. So now you're going to go and you're going to get these simulation type questions where it's going to give you the scenario, and then you're going to have to go through. So like this one was identifying the qualitative characteristic, assumption, or principle. So once you think you got it all, you're going to click this check, and you want green. You want green. Red sucks. Red means you got it wrong. But if you're just like, I don't know the answer, and that's totally okay your first time around, you can click show and it'll show you the correct answer. So that's just kind of how it's going through. And if you, when you show it and you get show the right answer rather, and you don't understand it, you can hit this explain box down here. Hello again. And it starts talking you through the problem. So that's the skills practice. Multiple choice. We're going to do all questions in this scenario, and we're going to click again, and then it just basically walks you through. You read it, you click it. You do have the option of a calculator, notes section. You can print out the question, or you can get this Excel spreadsheet, which is a very I don't really like the function that they have in Excel. It's not like the normal Excel. It's like this weird spreadsheet, like you would imagine would have been in like the 90s at like the first Excel ever made. So it'll time you, and it'll time you for each question, and then I'll give you an overall for the session. So let's just randomly click one. Yellow is wrong, come up over here is incorrect, and I'll give you a little explanation as to why this one's correct, and then why the other ones, or why the right answer is correct and why the other ones are wrong. So now we can just like go through, we'll end, we'll say yes, we're done, and I'll give you number of questions actually answered, number of questions correctly answered, percentage answered correctly, time spent in the session, average time per question. So that just helps you understand if you're going through things too slow, if you're going through things too fast. I wouldn't really focus on the time your first time around. I would just focus on understanding each question, why you got it wrong, why you got it right, how to actually do the problem. So that's going to be it, going all the way down each one. And then you're going to get to the simulations. Simulations, I think you should do just to kind of become aware of all the possibilities, but you'll basically get these little exhibits, they're called, where it has information on it, and you're supposed to use the exhibits to answer the question. So it's like this one walks you through this whole thing. Sometimes it's documents and all that. Okay, we got cut off there. So they'll bring you through documents, and you basically have to go down and kind of answer the question. You can click here for a number, click here for an option. You'll notice the difference because this one has like a little to-do list icon, this one has the 1, 2, 3 icon, and same as the skills practice, it'll come up green or it'll come up yellow. So it's really important. So numbers to be subtracted must be answered as negative numbers. I would always mess up on this part because like this one is an income statement. Obviously, I know that you need to take out expenses, but I sometimes thought, especially going through this the first time, that it would have automatically subtracted, because who wouldn't subtract expenses from revenues? Not right. So that's kind of just how it goes. Be very attentive to the instructions. If there is no gain or loss, enter a 0. Sometimes it doesn't even ask you to enter anything. They're just like leave it blank if you don't need to put anything there. So really just pay attention to that. But these are really good resources. So yes, we're done. Don't want to do a sim. So now we're going to go back to the main section, and we're just going to go through, we're going to look at the report for the mock exams, because I'm not doing a mock exam. I do not want to live that horror over again. So we'll go by Testlet. Testlet 1 had 33 questions, Test Lit 2 had 33 sections. They will give you the same number of questions that will be given to you on the actual exam. That is important, especially when you get to these mocks, how much time you need to give yourself in order to have enough time to complete the exam. So I would take these mock exams very seriously, but also note that there is a grade gap, I guess you would say, between Becker and your actual score. Some people do extremely better than what Becker's mock exam grade is. Other people do about the same, and then I feel like there's a few outliers that do worse. So that's just something to consider. Like, I got a 69 on this mock exam, and we can look at the last mock exam, and I got a 70 on the last mock exam. My actual score for FAR was an 86, so it was much higher. But what I think is more important than the score Becker gives you is the fact that you can go through, and if you do it by question type, you can go through and you see which sections are here. You can go and say, all right, now what are my areas of weakness? This one, government, part 2, I got 0%. Some I got 25%. So I knew what I need to go back and refresh on, really focus on, sorry. So I think that's what you should take more out of these mock exams than the actual grade. You really want to focus as if it's the real exam, but it is a learning opportunity to take it out and say, all right, let's go back. And that's why I really like the report when after you take a test, because then you can be like, all right, we are going to go to F10 and figure out why I can't get this down on a test. And I really like that about Becker. It's really just hammering down multiple choice. They give you a lot of opportunities to become aware of what's actually going to be on the test, and I think that's most important. So that's all about Becker. If you have any other questions regarding Becker, anything, how I feel about Becker, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll kind of walk you through more in detail if need be about why I chose Becker. But I think overall, I'm a person that needs to be taught it first. That's why I loved the lectures, loved going through them. They were annoying, they were boring, but I still needed to sit there and listen to them. Loved how they gave you skills practice, kind of reinforce the ideas you just learned in the lectures, and then multiple choice. There's so many multiple choice, so many, that it really just helped hammer home what was going to be on the actual exam. So with that being said, I feel like I'm out of breath because I just kept talking the entire time. But I hope this helps in making your decision if you were undecided about Becker or just want to know more about the Becker program. So have a good day, everyone. Bye.